What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning into another episode of the Culture Decides. I'm your host, Lee, and this is episode 15. Thank you guys so much for all the love you showed me during my birthday episode on episode 14. I saw the reposts, I saw the shares, comments, all that. Thank you so much. I really did enjoy myself. I got to see New York Liberty play against Indiana Fever. Caitlin was out, you know what I'm saying? But it was cool. It was cool. It's still cool, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, as I was actually watching the game, I'm passionate about sports and shit like that. I was like, I wonder if y'all would appreciate a little sprinkle in sports every now and then. So, it's for the culture. We talk about music, you know what I'm saying? Y'all hit me up sometimes, we have conversations about music. Like we can talk about things that's going on that, moves the culture. So not limited to that, but mostly gonna be about music. You know what I'm saying? So, if y'all do like that and would like a sprinkle in, maybe I could sprinkle that into the news every now and then. Let me know. As I'm growing with you all, definitely wanna make sure that I'm just hitting the topics we give a fuck about. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. But other than that, I hope all is well. Summer came real quick and it's starting to wind down a little bit. We're now in August, so by the time we turn around, it's gonna be fucking cold outside again, which I'm honestly tired of the heat. So not gonna mind the sweater weather, all right? But we still gotta get through this August and September before I get too far ahead. Now, as far as the agenda, I'm gonna go through some reminders, updates, news, and then of course I'll talk through songs on repeat / on my radar. And really for that on my radar section, I'm gonna be talking through some music reviews, y'all. Some submissions that came through over the last few weeks. I've been waiting to just, have a couple to talk through to y'all. So really excited to talk through. I have 5 different songs from 5 different artists. 5 new artists, new to me, maybe new to you. If not new to you, keep listening because they doing shit that's good. So yeah, I'm gonna talk about that. And then the grand finale is this Benny the Butcher versus Freddie Gibbs situation. And really, honestly, I'm gonna be comparing both their projects because they have been known for, beefing with each other for like ever. And they both dropped projects within like I want to say a week and a half of each other, a week, a little under a week, yeah. Benny had dropped July 16th, and then Freddie had dropped Alfredo 2 on July 25th. So yeah, not too far apart. So why not just compare them? These niggas always talking shit to each other. I feel like they should just do a rap battle without punching each other. So we're just gonna compare their albums, all right? I'm gonna tell y'all what I think about both projects and ultimately which one is the winner of those two. And yeah, we're gonna go from there. You know what I'm saying? Like, no hard feelings over any of these reviews. Just as a disclaimer, I'm just giving y'all my raw, authentic feelings. You know what I'm saying? What I think about it, whether your music submission or just a review I'm doing for the sake of the music reviews, like no hard feelings. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so as far as like the reminders and updates, I, of course, want to make sure y'all download it when you're listening. Make sure you download this episode if you're listening on any podcast platform. And if you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe, comment, you know what I'm saying? Let me know your thoughts. Thank you. If you're looking to leave any feedback or just like, things that you want to hear me review, you can definitely hit the link in the description of the podcast where it says hit me up and let me know your thoughts. Or you can, DM me, comment on the recent post. Like, I want to hear what y'all think. Now, as far as like the music submission form, like I said, I'm going to be tapping into some reviews from there, but I just want to remind y'all it's still open. So next episode I will be tapping into some reviews there as well. I have them planned out. I have a few stored for next time. So make sure you're not missing out on the opportunity that if you're an artist, you make music, you make beats, you want to share it with this audience. Like, I'm down to talk about it and yeah, go from there. Another big announcement, y'all might have seen by now, I did a collaboration with Hip Hop High Society. That crew, it was a really fun episode. We did a round table where we talked through different topics, and they go live weekly at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. So if any of y'all have the time, even if you don't have the time, it's still up. It's still a recording that you can revisit at any time. But if you're free, Wednesdays, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, and you want something to, just keep you up with like hip hop media and just different hot takes, tune in to Hip Hop High Society. Follow them. Also, I will be a regular contributor to their platform as well. So, you want to catch me live, unfiltered, no edits, go ahead and see me there. I will be joining the crew to chop it up every now and then. So excited for that. And, I will, of course, be talking to y'all here, on the regular. So that was it for the reminders slash updates, a big announcement there. So, of course, I'm excited for that. And now, as far as like the news, right? I got just like three little things, because I really want to hop into like the music review. So I just got three things to talk to y'all about. First thing, Tyler, the Creator, has been having like a phenomenal, I want to say year, honestly. He dropped Chromacopia, and since then he's been on tour this year. And while on tour, this dude dropped a fucking random project called Don't Break the Glass, y'all. Worth a listen if you're into like that dance, hip hop kind of, I would even say house music kind of vibe for sure. Check it out. I was pleasantly surprised by it. I'm like, yo, what kind of energy is he putting into this while, on tour? And apparently this is actually something that he's had for a minute. He actually teased it at one of his stops on tour. There was a vinyl while he was flipping through the vinyls on stage, doing like a little skit, and it showed the exact cover for Don't Break the Glass. So this actually was supposed to be a project with him and Rocky, and he said like pretty much there was like timing issues where like, Tyler was pretty much like, I'm a 7 a.m., 6:30 a.m., wake up and go to the studio. Rocky was more, I'm going at night type shit. And that didn't work for him. So unfortunately, they kind of scrapped doing it with one another. But Tyler was like, I still want to treat the people to this. So it's a 10-pack. It's a nice, solid listen. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I gave it an 8 out of 10. Honestly, just impressed with him doing this while completing the tour. I mean, 77 shows is crazy. And on top of the freaking 77 shows, he did a freaking dance party pop-up in LA and New York. Like, he's going crazy. He's eating for sure, making that money. You know what I'm saying? Like, not only does Tyler make music, he also is involved in the fashion world. So it's cool to see him like not holding back. And as far as the Rocky thing, it's like, yo, both involved in similar things. The difference is that Rocky, he has his family that's growing, but damn, nigga, drop the album. Like, come on, you got dudes passing you, dropping hella projects, and you still haven't dropped. You dropped the song, rolled it back in. Like, what's going on? I don't know. Like, we need music. But anyways, that was the first thing. Second thing I wanted to talk to y'all about. Well, y'all already seen it. For sure, Drake has been continuing this ICEMAN rollout. He just dropped a song with Central C, which won. And you remember on the last episode, I was saying, like, he's trying to appease to the UK, mind them. And I think that's why when he went up at Wireless, he said, like, oh, they're the best lyricists and all that, they're the best rap artists, blah, blah, blah. Because on ICEMAN, now with this song, I feel like he's going to be giving that vibe. As far as the song itself, I feel like I still personally like What Did I Miss more. I do see the vibe he's trying to give, like that, like kind of like Caribbean, UK influence on the track. And it's not a bad track, but I do like What I Miss more. Some people said they like this more. But I think there's overall a little bit of mixed reviews because What Did I Miss did land higher on the charts. It was like number 2, whereas this was like number 7 on the top 10. So it seems like people are gravitating more to What Did I Miss. Now, as far as like the rollout outside of like those 2 songs, he's been doing like these like streams, and the streams be having like some messages in it. He had like Pinocchio chasing him, and they were like, yo, it's giving like, yo, people that are lying, they're like they're chasing him and everything like that. And people are like, yo, is Pinocchio supposed to be Kendrick? I did ask y'all if y'all thought it was a reach. Some people said yes, some people said no. So, there's a split there. Others were like, yo, this also is giving like his lies are catching up to him. Like Flip Dylan Drake, like, maybe you didn't think that through kind of thing. And it was funny because in the stream, it's like a kind of like a skit. There's Pinocchio. Pinocchio's like in that red outfit hiding in trees. And fans found a photo where Kendrick is pretty much in a tree in a red outfit. And they're like, yo, it's giving like Pinocchio is supposed to be died. That's why they're saying that. But whatever. Apparently he's been teasing this whole thing, ICEMAN, for over a year. When he had dropped that 100 gigs worth of music last year, there was actually a track titled there, ICEMAN. So, and he also been like teasing this on his Finsta plot twist. So knowing that he had this potentially brewing for over a year, I feel like, well, I was wondering if like he may have wanted to drop this sooner, maybe even before Some Sexy Songs for You, but that whole rap beef with Kendrick threw things off because he had this and he's been teasing it, and it's like, oh, okay, I don't know, just something I'm speculating, just something I'm throwing out there. We gonna see when this actually drops and how people feel about it overall, what those sales are, because he loves to talk about it. His fans love to talk about it, so we're gonna see what happens. But on to number 3, an album, a project, I should say, a mixtape, I should really say, that actually dropped. Metro Boomin dropped A Futuristic Summer, and I am going to be tapping into that myself this weekend to listen to. He just dropped it yesterday, and it's pretty much giving like big jersey t-shirt vibes, like oversized tee, like that throwback vibe, but some are arguing, so far from what I see on social media, some people are saying it's not giving a futuristic summer, or it's not giving that vibe. Some people are raving about it. So I'm curious to see what y'all think about it. I've seen some criticism. So do y'all think the criticism is valid, that it's not really fitting the theme? Or do you think Metro Woman did what he had to do? Let me know. Comments, wherever, DM me, however, let me know. Now, that was the 3 things. I kept it light, right? Look, I kept it light. I'm keeping my promises. Try. Now, we're going to move on to On Repeat. What's been on my phone, what I've been listening to. If you did tune into Hip Hop High Society, you might have saw it there, but I'll repeat it. LGSEO, Let God Sort Them Out. That shit been on repeat. I ain't even gonna lie to you. It's been on repeat so much, I feel like I got my girl playing it now. Like, no cap. She probably like, I play it because I want to. Nah, I made you listen to that, right? You like that shit, right? She even got her own favorite songs and the shit. So yeah, I mean, that's been on repeat. FICO's still my number 1 song. I listened to Jack Boys 2 again, and that shit is garbage, y'all. Like, that shit. I said 7 out of 10 on the review last time. It might even be a 6. Like, just no overall improvement. I wanted to say maybe one song got better on it for me, and not really. Like, but yeah, outside of that, Party of 2, that group that I reviewed back on episode 8, Festival Season, check that out if you want. They are actually dropping something this month, a project or something called Just Dance 2. So I'm interested to see how that sounds. They've been making moves though. They just did a collab with the Chicago Sky, WNBA. Check it out. Women play great sports too. I told y'all that Liberty game I went to was fire, right? But anyways, I saw that collab. So I'm like, yo, they're really like taking off. I feel like more people are paying attention to them, and they've just been marketing themselves well. So they're talented, and I really want to see them go to the next level. So that was this has been like on the radar for me. Like, okay, they're about to drop. And then I went back to visit their project, and I'm like, yeah, this is still hitting. I do like their it was a 4-pack EP. It was pretty solid. So go check that out. Now, we are going to hop into the music reviews. The first set of music reviews will be the music submissions that I have. I have 5 songs from 5 different artists. Like I said, y'all gotta tap into them. New to me, maybe new to you, and just, worth the listen to see if there's a vibe that you like. Now, disclaimer, I know people that submitted, y'all gonna be listening. Like I said in the beginning, I'm always be honest, tell you how I feel, and I'm gonna do my best to give constructive criticism, right? Now, with the submissions, not every submission is selected. I do my best to try to select submissions where, like, it's a song that I'm feeling, that I feel like y'all should listen to too, and like there may be some that like, okay, I'm gonna give my honest opinion about it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's like I see potential in it, kind of vibe. Maybe it's not all the way there, but regardless, don't be mad at me for being honest is the point. Alright? I'm just letting you know. I'm gonna be honest, cause I got to. You know what I'm saying? Cause if people gonna listen to me, like, what the fuck are you talking about? 3 out of 3, that shit is garbage. You know what I'm saying? Or what? You thought that was not fire? This is my opinion. But y'all already know that. So, thank y'all for submitting. Thank you all for listening, because we gonna tap into this. And honestly, I was really pleasantly surprised with this bunch of reviews that I'm about to go through. I found some artists and some songs that I'm adding to my playlist. So, good things to share, honestly. Like, what I'm saying? Not even to scare y'all, good things to share. Now these artists, they do have, projects that are already out. So if there's something that you hear you like, go check out the rest of it, honestly. While they submitted songs, some of them have those projects that I ended up listening to the whole thing. And I was like, yeah, this is shit. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Now, across the artists, guys, we tapping into the Midwest, South, Northeast. You know what I'm saying? There's a mix-up of talent in here. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then after this, I'll end it with that Benny versus Freddie talk. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna tap into that in their long-standing beef. But for right now, out of my 5 first on the list, we tapping in, we flying over to Chicago real quick, y'all. We're gonna make a little pit stop in Chi-Town with Jaguar Dot, J Dot, artist slash producer. He actually dropped an EP with 10 songs. It's a quick listen, about 26 minutes. And what's a fun fact to know, J Dot produced 75% of the fucking EP. Like, doing this pretty much by himself, you know what I'm saying? Like 75%, that's a large number. That's more than half, you know what I'm saying? So he has been rapping. This is a project that actually dropped back in 2022. It's called I'll Be Back, if I didn't say that already. And with the energy that he delivered on this EP, definitely needs to come back. Definitely needs to come back and update us what's going on. I was really impressed that he produced most of the EP by himself. And from the EP, I pretty much chose my favorite song. And I want to share that with y'all because I thought I was impressed with it. Like I said, I was like, yo, look at all this hidden talent. Like, you know what I'm saying? When I say hidden, I mean like talent that needs to be elevated and needs to be spoken about on larger platforms. So yeah, just to get into it, track 2, Disrespectful. Just by the title alone, Disrespectful. This track, I feel like it shows really Jaguar's strength, as far as just being like a gritty rapper, you know what I'm saying? Not giving a fuck, being able to deliver bar after bar, very heavy on the Midwest energy, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like he was giving battle rapper energy, in my opinion. Like, just the shit that he was saying is very disrespectful. The title matches the fucking song. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know when somebody rapping some shit make you like, hold on, this nigga talking to me? You gotta take off the headphone. You gotta look at your phone real quick, like, bro, this sounds directed. You know what I'm saying? But like, not like, you know what I'm saying? Not obviously me, you know what I'm saying? But it just sounded real personal. You're like, who the fuck this nigga talking to? But nah, like this was a really heavy hitter on the EP. I feel like this is the standout track for me. It's pretty much like, yo, you niggas playing with him, you're gonna end up face down in the hood. Like, do not fuck with that or you will be marked up, essentially. You know what I'm saying? Like, and on here, he's pretty much like, yo, there's no motherfucker breathing alive that intimidates me. Like, I don't give a fuck. Okay. Like, yeah. And honestly, I was like, yo, this is the type of track. Like, if you got an op, this is what you send to them. Like, listen, they gonna feel like you just slapped the fuck out of them. You know what I'm saying? With this track. So yeah, Disrespectful. Like I said, I feel like it had that gritty energy. It felt like a battle rap type of energy, very much like on that boom bat beat, dicing that shit the fuck up. So with that being said, I gave it a 3 out of 3. Jaguar Dot, check out his project. I'll Be Back. That's a quick listen overall. You know what I'm saying? If you want some Chi-Town energy, some Chicago energy, check that out. J Dot on the producer side did that shit. Now, from Chicago, we're gonna head up to Buff real quick. We're gonna head up to Buffalo, and not for Benny, for other reasons, for some young energy, alright? So, Young Bag Getters, aka YBG, submitted on behalf of Dex Glow Glow. One of the members, Dex Glow Glow, dropped a song not too long ago called Respect the Motto. This is actually, it came out back in springtime, I should say, and they got the official music video and everything on YouTube. So, I was like, let me see what them young boys up north up to. Now, they are definitely on some ski activities in this video, okay? You know what I'm saying? If you are easily scared by some ski masks, don't watch this one. You know what I'm saying? It was giving YNs in the video. I mean, I don't know how old y'all, but y'all look pretty young. So, and on the song, y'all gonna say Dex gonna say he ain't trying to kill a YN. He wanna kill an OG. I don't know why. I ain't even gonna ask why, because I'm not trying to get involved, okay? You know what I'm saying? Do your thing, youngin'. I'm gonna respect your motto. Stay up and buff with that. You know what I'm saying? But honestly, as far as the song, it reminded me of like that Midwest delivery where there's like double time verses. And you know how like T Grizzly sometimes rap where like the rap is slightly faster than like the beat. I feel like I was getting that vibe. Like it kind of like G Herbo kind of has that vibe too. I do feel like I see the vision as far as like it's kind of like that drill cadence too, where you're getting like bar after bar, you know what I'm saying? And you ain't no breaths, you know what I'm saying? You just delivering that respect the motto, you know what I'm saying? I see the vision as far as wanting to give that vibe, and I do think with some more practice too, that definitely can be perfected. I think there are some verses that were a little wordy, so I would like probably recommend trimming it down a little bit just so it doesn't sound like you're competing with the beat. The beats selection is great, but I do think trim it down, the wordiness just a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And it won't sound like you're competing too much with the beat. Overall, it's a good song. I give it a 2 out of 3. It's definitely, like I said, ski activities and that YN vibe type shit. You know what I'm saying? If you're into that, I have the appetite for that at times. Some people don't. I fuck with it. I say check it out. And yo, young bag getters, keep getting your bag. You know what I'm saying? Keep doing what you gotta do and keep dropping music. I think was it Tyler that went in his recent interview was talking about, yo, just drop it. Like everything ain't gonna sound one way, or you know what I'm saying? Just drop your shit. See what people gravitate towards. So, you know what I'm saying? Keep doing what you gotta do and keep up the consistency. That's the best thing you can do, right? To see those improvements. So now we're gonna hop into number 3 on my list. Shun God out of Houston. We went to Buffalo, Chicago, Buffalo. We going down south to Texas, to Houston. And you know what? Shun God is actually gonna take us back up to Chi-Town with this specific track called Just Landed. His track that he dropped not so long ago is from his new project that actually just dropped on Even. So the project is called Hobby to Midway. It has like 11 songs on there. And the particular track that I'll be talking to y'all off that project is called Just Landed with Kiara on there. And this duo, they did a pretty great job. They're not like an official duo, but like them collabing together, this was a pretty solid example of some work that they need to do more of. You know what I'm saying? Like I was fucking with it. But anyways, like I said, this project did drop on Even, and I want y'all to pay attention to Even, y'all. Even.biz. They are actually like giving more power back in like artists in their hands, and pretty much like providing a platform that allows artists to connect with their fans and really benefit from their fans' investment. You know what I'm saying? Vice versa. The fans get to interact with the artists. They get to have special events and like, listening parties and things of that nature. And I think their business model is really meant to benefit artists and fans and not meant to like really just profit off these artists the way these big labels and big streamers do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think I've been watching their development for some time, and I really think that Sean God played it right by dropping his project on there. It's pretty much like a pay what you want for a project. So somebody could pay $10 for your shit. Somebody could really fuck with you as a fan and drop a rack or more on your project. So something worth looking into. You know what I'm saying? You never know. Fans do a lot for people that they fuck with. You know what I'm saying? So as far as the song just landed, like I said, Sean God is from Houston and he's making moves. And the project itself talks about just like the journey from moving from different places, and specifically from Houston to Chicago. I really did like the cover art. It's for the song, it's like a boarding ticket, and the boarding ticket has like from Houston to Midway, Midwest, and on one side it's like you see a plane in the sky and the plane is flying over Houston over into Chicago. So I really did enjoy that part. I pay attention to even the cover too, y'all. So I really fuck with that. And the song itself is really like a nice blend of R&B and hip hop. I was really fucking with this one. I was like, yeah, this definitely going in the playlist. I wanna like replay this, and like when I'm the type of person, I fuck with the song, I'm gonna share the song, right? So I'm sharing that, you know what I'm saying? So on here, on Just Landed, Kiara kicks it off singing and brings in that R&B vibe, and she's pretty much like, yo, put your phone down, like, enjoy the vibes in Chi-Town. Like, I wanna, tap in with you kind of vibe. And she's, saying, booking a flight for her dude to come over. And honestly, I feel like her vibe gave me like a Janae Aiko kind of vibe. I don't know. I was feeling it. Let me know if y'all agree. But honestly, that set the tone, that set up the song really nicely. And then Shanga comes in, takes over, and delivers rapid fire verses. And it's pretty much like, you know what I'm saying? When he landed, he saw the hate, he saw the demise in their eyes when he pulled up, and he's been gifted. He knew he had it in him, protective of his energy, you know what I'm saying? Like, never doubted himself. And even at his lowest, he knew he would be something great. Now, that is something that is hard to do sometimes when you low, you know what I'm saying? That's all you could think is low, right? And he's like, nah, I know I'm worth more. I know I'm meant to be up, and I'm not gonna let society dictate what my future will be. You know what I'm saying? So I like that throughout while he's spitting his shit and delivering those bars. Kiara was in the back, like humming, not too much, just like sprinkles of hums on the beat, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she pretty much like elevates the beat in that sense. And there's points of the beat where it kind of like it fades in and out. I thoroughly enjoyed that part, you know what I'm saying? And I think Shangad, it showed why, you know what I'm saying? He's calling himself a god on the beat, you know what I'm saying? He's like, name a nigga that God ain't better than on the beat, you know what I'm saying? A nice part of this song too was the outro. I love when people pay attention to everything from the intro of the song down to the very last thing you hear, right? So at the end, there's an outro, and it's a flight attendant thanking the passengers for flying over to Chicago, and pretty much this plane, was being flown by Captain Shun God. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you didn't know his name, now the fuck you do. So I feel like a very nice theme as far as down from the cover art down to the song. I love the blend of the genres, R&B and hip hop. And I feel like Kiara singing complemented the track. It's pretty much like she was like, singing on the chorus, like, hey, this is the vibe I want. This is why I'm flying you out to Chicago type shit. And he came in with the confidence, you know what I'm saying? So this was a 3 out of 3 for me. I really appreciated this track. So y'all check out Shanga Just Landed. Check out that Hobby to Midway on Even, and show some new people some love. You know what I'm saying? All right, so now I got 2 more songs to talk to y'all about. So next one on here, you know what I'm saying, we took that quick stop in Houston to pick up Shungad, and he dropped us off in Chicago. Well, now we gonna go not too far over to Lancaster, PA. And here You know what I'm saying? We kind of coming back to the East, you know what I'm saying? Just a little bit, just right in the middle of the East and the Midwest, right? So we got Laddie Moran. Laddie Moran's, like I said, from PA, and submitted a song called Said Too Much, Part 1. There's also a music video for this one, Classes in Session. I thought the video was really nice touch as well. But as far as the song, I was really impressed with this one too. Another listen, I ain't even capping to y'all. I'm not like gonna bullshit y'all. I found these songs that I would listen to again. You know what I'm saying? Songs that I was like starting it in my phone, adding it to my playlist kind of vibe. This one on here, Laddie's pretty much like he spoke on how being woke may be too much for some people, and how when he showed, you know, his mindset, you know what I'm saying, his white friends started switching up on him, and people, even his own kind, started looking at him different, you know what I'm saying? And he's like, yo, the goal is to wake up, is to speak facts, you know what I'm saying? But these people, they disregard the facts because it doesn't fit their agenda, right? Oftentimes, I feel like the labels prefer to promote mediocrity and gang violence and a certain image. They, you know what I'm saying? On the track, he's like, yo, if I was wearing a ski mask and rocking a hoodie, like, would y'all tune in more? Would y'all actually listen? Is that the image that you want? You know, am I getting too deep? But pretty much, you know, Laddie's like, yo, the goal is to wake y'all niggas up for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was impressed with this track. Like I said, I think the video was a nice touch, and it was actually a collab with this page called Spit Cam University. So honestly, I think this is 3 out of 3. I don't got no complaints. Now, last but not least, we're gonna take a trip down to North Carolina. We're going to Raleigh, North Carolina, right? And we gonna kick it with K West Music Slim. K West Music Slim, you heard that, for a song called They Don't Know. So K West actually dropped a project called Slim Cookin'. This has 9 songs, 25 minutes or so. Solid project. I'm going to specifically talk about They Don't Know off this project now. So I feel like this song is more in like the side, like a little bit of motivation to it though. Like just some like real humble type of shit. Like, now on here, like K West is pretty much like, yo, they don't know about your struggles. They only see the sunshine. They don't see the rain. You know, people don't see beyond the smile, you know what I'm saying? Or all your effort that it takes to make it to those high moments. They just see when you win. You know what I'm saying? And he's pretty much on it like, yo, who are we to judge? You know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta just be thankful for waking up for another day. And throughout the track, he recalled some stories of some loved ones silently struggling, like a friend of his. And honestly, I thought it was a thoughtful song. I really loved the message behind it. And while giving that message, he gave a solid song too. And it was a song for the soul. So I thought this was a solid song. I gave it a 2 out of 3. A nice message being sent too. Like, don't judge people for shit you don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know what it took, even in their highs, to get there, and or their lows to get to that point. So, uh, solid song, good song to listen to. Another song worth checking out. 2 out of 3 for me. Y'all run it up. Now, that is pretty much it for the music submission section. And if y'all really want to help these artists, like from what I know, not only playing the song, but adding them to your playlist, following them across social media, but adding it to your playlist, and, you know, repeating the song, different things like that helps these streaming platforms kind of push it. So do what you can, add it, share it if you like it. You know what I'm saying? Like, check out some new people. I fuck with them. I think they're all worth listening to. All right, so we're gonna hop into the project reviews, but before I do that, I want to just make sure for any new listeners, you know what I'm looking at. Project reviews can consist of EPs, mixtapes, albums, anything that's over, what, 2 songs, maybe? Even if it is, I'll review it under the projects, but whatever. As far as what I'm looking for, I'm rating it based off of creativity, versatility, features, impact on me, impact on others. And I'm taking my notes on each. I like to listen to each project multiple times. One without me taking notes, just a vibe to it. The other time, me just taking notes of things that I like that I will share with y'all. And each track, I'm rating it 1 to 3. 1 fire sign, mid, 2 great, 2 good, 3 fire. Replay, likely something that I want to share with people. And at the end of each project, I'm rating that project 1 to 10 and usually giving it a letter grade to coincide with that. So after I go through that and what I like about the album, my tracks and all that, I walk y'all through the best feature, songs that they should have probably kept off of it, best song. All right, so now I'm gonna hop into this Benny the Butcher versus Freddie Gibbs project review section. All right, now like I mentioned before, we know Benny and Freddie, they've been beefing for forever now. They you know what I'm saying? One jumps the other, one slaps the other. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. They just never gonna stop. Honestly, I think a lot of us can agree would like to see them handle it in the booth. I would like to see y'all just go bar for bar, have a fucking versus. Maybe we can't have y'all in the same room, but like, God damn, let's get some freestyle popping. Let's get a 3-round bout, you know what I'm saying? And the culture fucking decides. Yeah, like I did that. But yeah, let's just do that because y'all been beefing for a minute, you know what I'm saying? Feel like he slang coke better than the other. I don't know what it is, but you know what I'm saying? Y'all have y'all reasons, but what I am going to do, this is my way of trying to settle it for y'all. I mean, I can't settle shit for real, but I am going to decide from Summertime Butch 2 versus Alfredo 2, which project is better. All right? I'm going to talk to y'all through each one and then give you my reasoning for why I decide it's a better project. All right? Don't be surprised. Don't be mad. Take it up with the artist. Let them know I said that. Now, first things first, I'm going to just let Benny go first. Benny the Butcher dropped Summertime Butch 2 mid-July. 13 songs, 35 minutes. Not too bad. I feel like Benny usually gives those projects that's like, listen, I'm getting straight to the point. Here's a half an hour of your time. Let me have a half an hour of your time, I should say. And let me give you a few songs for that, right? Now, last time I reviewed the project was back in March. The Outcome by Ill Tone Beats and the Black Soprano Family, that review is still out. And that was a solid project. I really did fuck with that project. I really was bumping it a lot. So, you know, I paid attention to the Black Soprano Family since then. And honestly, the whole crew been cooking since that moment. They have not stopped. Benny himself has not stopped, has been dropping. You know what I'm saying? We need more Griselda, but we gonna get there. But you know, some folks have been feeling Summertime too a little bit more. I'm gonna let y'all know how I feel. So what's actually funny is that I did a poll on my Instagram story where you all had the chance to vote on which project y'all prefer more. It was Summertime Butch 2 versus Alfredo 2. And the results were kind of shocking to me. Alfredo 2, Freddie Gibbs won. It was 67% to 33%. And y'all got Benny to respond based off of the results. He swiped up, responded to me. I didn't even know this until like a day later. I was like, oh shit, Benny responded. I saw him watch the story. You know, he be paying attention. He do pay. You tag him, he looking. He pays attention. And he was like, yo, this is exactly what he said. I'm going to post a little screenshot right here so you see it. He was like, and then if y'all listen to the audio, I'm going to say it word for word. He was like, the boom bap fans hurt. I crashed a guy and called them nerds. ... I'm the bully. That is Benny the Butcher's words in response to that 67% to 33%. He said y'all mad at him. Y'all boom bap rap fans is mad. I guess I'm a part of that too, but I wasn't mad. Yeah, I do like boom bap. Damn. Like, crashed out on the whole fucking fan base. But he said they mad. They mad. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm gonna leave it with. And then I'm gonna hop into this project. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that though. I'm gonna hop into this project while y'all let that comment. He's saying y'all big mad. Let that simmer, let me know what you think. Now, I digress about that. We're gonna hop into Summertime Butch 2. We got, like I said, 13 songs to talk through. Now, Benny kicks it off with an intro song. Quick little intro called Summer Feeling, track 1. On here, it's actually a sample of Jonathan Richman's song called That Summer Feeling. It's like one of those classic kind of oldies vibes, it feels like. Jonathan Richman was in a group called the Modern Lovers. But anyways, he's like, that summer feeling is gonna haunt you for the rest of your life. That summer feeling, that kind of vibe. I'm like, okay. You know what I'm saying? And then on here is like, it's like, yo, this is the real Sopranos. You know what I'm saying? Fuck the Sopranos you saw on the TV. This is the Black Soprano family, the real Sopranos. It was a solid intro. It was fun. I like the sample on here. No bars or anything delivered on here, but it was a good intro. Got me listening. I turned my ears on for real. So, you know, usually I don't give like little bits like this like a rating, but hey, fuck it, I'll give it a 3 out of 3. We happen to the actual first song of the project. It's called Jasmine, track 2. Jasmine's, feature West Side Gun and produced by The Ringer. Now, on here, West Side Gun kicks it off. He's, West Side, he always talking his shit. You know what I'm saying? He's on here like, I might be the first rapper to make it on Vogue. And his pew, pew, pew. You know what I'm saying? But what I really did like was there was an interlude between West Side and Benny's verse. And it's like, a talk track. And it's like, yo, do you have any remorse on doing this drug business? And he's pretty much like, no, not Benny, but the character is like, no. And he's like the pharmacy, they gotta take care of their people, and I'm just taking care of those they want. There's a demand, and I'm supplying it essentially. Now Benny comes in like, fuck is the state of rap? Like, fuck is this question that they keep asking? What's the state of rap? They've been asking this shit for mad long, since all these different legends have died, like Pac and everybody, always questioning, what's the state of rap? Who's running it? Yada, yada, yada. And I feel like Benny showed that, one, he does listen to all the critics and what they say and people overlooking him, because there's a couple times that he kind of alludes to it. He is like, yo, I've been doing this shit. I'm a cash cow, cash saver. You know what I'm saying? I'm loyal shit. Anytime these niggas got me in the room, aka the feds, I'm so quiet you can hear a pin drop. You know what I'm saying? Like, he could take these rappers on a field trip if he decided to show off. That's pretty much what he's saying on here. Honestly, I feel like first actual song with some bars, I feel like he went off. And I gave it a 3 out of 3. Now, we're going to hop into track 3. Hood on Fire featuring Bruiser Wolf, another one produced by The Ringer. On here, I really enjoyed the chorus. Bruiser is giving this spoken word flow, not even like rushing his pace, just pretty much think poetry on the stage, just snapping type shit, you know what I'm saying? And he's saying some shit on here, you know what I'm saying? He's like, so pretty much Bruiser comes in like, yo, it's hot. Business is booming. Rico's is looming. They know he do it, but they don't. Can they prove it? Can they prove that he did all the crimes that they got stacked up? You know what I'm saying? Like, the DA is tired of looking stupid. Like I said, it's like that slow, poetic, I'm speaking these words to you. Like, imagine Snaps and a man on a poetry stage. I feel like that's what it was given, right? And then, Benny comes in like, yo, these rappers, they let their fans gas them up. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that they got paperwork on them and weird allegations. Like, don't even be acting like that. You know you're a weirdo. You know you're a snitch. Come on. And you know what I'm saying? He's like, yo, me and my crew, we keep it silent like we Masons. You know, Masons, they don't speak on shit. Secret ass society. Now, I really enjoyed Bruiser's cadence. I enjoyed that poetic flow. I feel like you don't have to rap fast to deliver a punch. In fact, you could slow it down. In fact, I could speak to you like this and tell you exactly what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So, Benny's like, yo, I'm on a marathon for greatness. Keep up. Y'all are not touching me. Despite where y'all rank me, despite where you place me, I am always going to eat, and I'm going to eat fucking well. 3 out of 3. Now we move on to track 4. Told You So featuring Mike Will Made It. I feel like I heard Mike's influence right away on the production, and on here, Benny's like, yo, a standout bar for me when he was like, yo, 16 in the shooter, but not like Luka. Not like Luka. I ain't doing that type of 16 shots. I'm doing another type of you know what I'm saying? And he's like, yo, I told these guys I'm gonna be doing it all. I beat the odds, and I traded in my lifestyle to be a rapper. And the streets is calling me, you know what I'm saying? Like, so Told You So featuring Mike Will Made It on the production, 2 out of 3. Now we hop into track 5, which is actually a skit. It's called Where's Butch, featuring Mike Murphy. It's no rating on this. I mean, it was still like a fire, I would say, like interlude with this skip. So I guess you could give it a 3 out of 3 on here. It's a voicemail box for Benny, right? And the receiver is like, leave a message or you could find him outside. I thought that was funny. And then Mike comes on like, yo, you see they put you on last place? That B dot dude, fuck is they on? And this is why I said before, I feel like Benny's like really trying to send shots and answer to those that don't respect his rap game, right? In 2021, B. Miller had ranked Benny the Butcher as number 7 out of top 10 rappers of the year. And Benny did not like that. Did not like being number 7. He said that B. Must be eating crack, essentially. So yeah, it was a little skit for him to talk his shit and tell us, I guess, why he's coming with this energy. Now, then we roll into track 6 called Summer 25. So Summer 2025, right? That's what we in. Pretty much on here, he's reflecting on the year. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's also like, yo, you can't compare him to any rappers. They got to be past legends. You know what I'm saying? And what y'all think? Do you think you can compare Benny to any rapper? Me personally, I'm comparing him to Freddie Gibbs today. But I do think he has not been able to get above a certain level as far as like being like more of a household name. And he is talented as fuck. I think so. Sometimes I'm like, maybe it's like branching out more outside of the region. He does it big for Buffalo. He collabs with artists out there, but maybe just stepping outside of that. And I will say track 7, which is called Why Would I, does a great example of tapping into another region because he has G Herbo on there. So maybe more things like that, right? So as far as this song, Why Would I with G Herbo, I feel like this was a really smart feature. I feel like I said, Benny expanded outside of his region on here. And the beat honestly, I feel like the beat and the pace that Benny rapped on, it picked up a bit. You know what I'm saying? I feel like even Herbo was on beat. That was like, okay, you rapping on beat for this one? Got you. You know what I'm saying? And and on this song, Why Would I? It's like, why would they ever believe this shit? Why would I ever believe the shit, you know what I'm saying, that these niggas is saying? Like, just talking through all the wild wood eyes. But I did really like how they both delivered on this track, both of their verses. I feel like G Herbo had a little extra oomph in his rap, and I was pleasantly surprised. He's genuinely off. He's genuinely offbeat, but wasn't too much for this one. So I gave it a 3 out of 3. Now we're on track 7, and I feel like so far I've been fucking with a few of the tracks a lot. Like, I gave them pretty solid high ratings, and it continues throughout the project. Now I'll save that for what I gotta say later. We hop into track 8 called 77 Club, and on here, Benny's coming with that gritty energy off rip. This one, I feel like he continues that pace where it's faster beat, where it's a faster beat and flows. And one line I should say that really stood out to me is that he was like, yo, we know nothing comes before presidents. Muscles don't beat intelligence. Like nothing comes before money. And you can be big and hockey, but that don't beat being fucking smart. You know what I'm saying? Like being smart enough to make the smart moves. I thought that was a nice line. And the delivery on this track, it was a solo track with him. It was really punching for me. So I gave it a 3 out of 3. Don't be mad at me. That shit was hit. And I did listen to it multiple times, right? To make sure that's how I was really feeling. All right, so track 9, Gold Plated Leica, featuring OT The Real. Now, OT The Real kicks it off with the chorus. I really fucked with that chorus, y'all. He's like, yo, body count rises to summer heat. And just keeps going off. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he did well with the chorus and he did well on his own verse. Like, he really fucking bodied that shit. Dare I say, really going neck and neck with Benny on the fucking track. You know what I'm saying? And now, honestly, they verses really complimented each other, I would say. Now, Benny comes in like, yo, I never leave the crib without a strap and the most expensive watch. Talking his Benny the Butcher shit. You know what I'm saying? Talking his rich nigga flex shit. And yeah, OT The Real was the highlight on this track. So much, I gave it a 3 out of 3 as well. Don't be mad at me. Don't be mad at me. Now, move on to track 10. It's called In the Wall, featuring Bun fucking B. Had to hop on the track. Now, continuing that upbeat vibe on here. Honestly, upbeat Benny Eats. I feel like a little bit more of this, because I feel like he gives like more of like a medium to slower down kind of pace, and this was kind of like a little bit more like uppity kind of vibe. But I really fuck with this. I really fuck with the chorus. And on here he's like, yo, drug money for all of us. They can't text what's in the wall. You know what I'm saying? They can't text that. They can't text what they can't see. Okay? I'm not giving y'all advice to hide anything anywhere, but that's what he's saying. Bun B also had a fucking fire verse on here. He, you know what I'm saying? He told me this shit like, yo, these niggas not like that. They ain't cross state lines with that work. They ain't do none of the shit that we did. Like, Bun B still fucking delivering fucking bars. It's another 3 out of 3 for me. Come on. Now, we enter it into the latter part of the project. We got Pandora's track 11, El Camino from the Black Soprano family pulls up to lay down some verses, and Duckman, and they reminiscing on how the streets, you know, tried to play them and how they making more lettuce. You know what I'm saying? And Benny's like, yo, I had these niggas following me, like I said, follow the leader. You know what I'm saying? There's people in the streets that's like, yo, bro, no, the streets need you more than the labels do. We need to get back to that chicken you was making us. Fuck, come back. You know what I'm saying? Like, this was another tough track. This one I gave it a 2 out of 3. Now we're hopping into track 12 called Lolos. This one, the vibe slows back down a little bit. Honestly, I feel like this track was the first track that was like, oh, it's a little bit more on the boring side. You know what I'm saying? He did talk about, like, you know, how he got the black trucks macked up, baddie next to his side. He had to slay dragons and used to beef over blocks. Now he's eating and enjoying the luxuries of his life. But it was a little bit more boring compared to the other tracks. The other tracks just, I was walking around like, okay, had that mean face all my whole time type shit. But this one was like the first 1 out of 3 for the project for me. Now we hop into the last track, 13, East Side Butch freestyle. It's freestyle. And he wraps it up like, yo, the game isn't appreciating his talent. He's been repping his city well. He's been going off. And like I said earlier, I feel like he really dropped this too, to just be like, yo, respect me. I'm doing this shit. Last summer, that's where we's at. This is where we's at this summer. Put some respect on my fucking name. Put some respect on Betty Liam. But I feel like Benny honestly kept that energy up throughout most of the project. It was really towards the last track 11 and track 12 where I was like, oh, okay, it's okay. But I mean, just for two tracks to be like not that great. Oh, track 13, I gave this a 2 out of 3. And I feel like Benny kept the energy up throughout most of the project. Yeah, very much most of the project. There was really one song on there that I was like, okay, not really much of the vibe. I mean, I really did enjoy the outcome. I have been fucking with what they've been dropping. I've been fucking with what they've been dropping the last few months. And I was not disappointed with Summertime Butch too. I feel like I like this more than part one. So yeah, I mean the vibes were consistent to me. It's worth a replay. I'm definitely gonna be listening to this. And as far as like the best feature on here, honestly, this was kind of tough for me. Bun B really went off. Bruiser, I told you I really like the poetic cadence, and OT also went off. But when I really started to think about it, I think OT on Globe Plated Leica. The chorus, he kicked it off well. He set the energy strong and great in the beginning. And yeah, I would say Gold Plated Leica featuring OT The Real is the best feature. As far as Keep It songs, I would say Lolo's best song on here goes back to Gold Plated Leica featuring OT The Real. And then if my top 3 from Gold Plated, that's number 1. Number 2 will be In the Wall with Bun B. 3 will be 77 Club. I feel like on that solo track, Benny handled it well, did his thing. And then an honorable mention, Hood on Fire with Bruiser Wolf. Honestly, those number 3 and the honorable mention, they kind of interchangeable because I really did enjoy that poetic like feature on there. I don't know. It was really doing it for me. So overall, I gave this project Summertime Butch 2 a 9 out of 10. This got an A from me. I like it. I'm fucking with it. I'm gonna replay it. Do I like it more than the outcome? I feel like hmm, that's pending. I feel like the outcome still got it for me. But this is a very much a contender that I will right into after if I want like some more solo Benny running it by himself. But that was more solo as a group. But yeah, if I'm comparing Summertime Butch 2, Summertime 1, Summertime 2 got it for me. So yeah, that's how I feel about Benny. So now I'm gonna close it out with this review for Alfredo 2. Freddie Gibbs and the Alchemist paired up again. 5 years later, we got part 2. Alfredo 1 came out in 2020. Now we got Alfredo 2, 14 songs, 48 minutes. This came out like July 25th. And, Freddie always been a troll, always been trolling dudes. And I figured, hey, if he gonna drop so close to Benny, why not compare him, right? Now, as far as like my initial thoughts throughout like the rollout and everything, there was some conversations around the cover. People were wondering if it was like made by AI. I didn't get a confirmation on that, but at first I was wondering why it was ramen instead of pasta like Alfredo 1. And if y'all paid attention to the rollout for this, they did like a whole like Asian theme rollout, well, Japanese specifically. And on Craigslist there was a job posting that was for this project. And it was like how, where Freddie and Al are looking to hire a chef in Tokyo to help with their like restaurant that they're gonna open up. And it's gonna be like, a Japanese themed restaurant called Alfredo's Tokyo Marketplace. And they did drop merch with like that on it as well. So that was a pretty cool rollout, you know what I'm saying? Like it was very interactive. And yeah, so that's why it was ramen instead of like pasta on the cover. Throughout this project, Freddie did have some words for some folks, including Currency. Currency actually just dropped 7:30 on 7:30. Review pending for that. I'll be giving it a few spins, but we actually did speak on Freddie dissing Currency on Hip Hop High Society on episode 61 last Wednesday. So check that out. You'll see myself and the crew talk about that and just our thoughts on why Freddie even dissing him. But yeah, go ahead and check that out. But now, as far as this project, we're gonna hop into these songs. Track one is called 1995, which is actually a sequel to his song called 1985 that he dropped on the first Alfredo. Now, on here, I did make sure I actually went to listen to 1985 right after this, and just to like bring back like that vibe and see which one do I prefer more. And I'll tell you that after I tell you about the song, right? On this song, Freddie speaks about, how he needed to run it back with Al, you know what I'm saying? They had to do it again, you know what I'm saying? And Freddie's talking his shit like how he had to put the belt to ass like Joe Jackson. And if you don't know, people say that Joe was whooping Michael and them, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, he makes that statement and then he admits like, yo, I gotta stop tricking on these hoes. Freddie be getting freaky. You know what I'm saying? He be doing a lot. We seen too much of him actually online. Too much. But anyways, I digress about that part. Mr. Freddie Gibbs. As far as the song, I really did enjoy the electric guitar going off in a beat, a nice nod to Alfredo 1, which also had that electric guitar vibes in the back. And on this track on 1995, Freddie's like how this rap beef shit is corny to him and he doesn't want to be attached to it, but regardless, he's still talking his shit. He's still taunting these niggas, trolling them. So he said that, but I don't know if he really meant it because he's still sending shots. Whatever. What I really did like is the voice singing, Freddie King, why you doing so cold? That was pretty fire. And as far as like the comparison between like 1999 1985, 1999 has like a faster pace, and I honestly like that. I feel like it was a little more of like an upbeat vibe, and I gave it 3 out of 3. So now we hop into track 2, Mar-a-Lago. Now, off rip, when I saw the title, I was like side-eyeing and like, why the fuck we talking about Mar-a-Lago? Whatever, I'm gonna listen, see what he gotta say. When I heard the beat, I was like, damn, started off strong. It's like a jazzy, slow, sophisticated beat, very much speaking to the Alchemist. You know what I'm saying? You know that vibe he brought on Life is Beautiful. Like, I feel like those type of beats, you know what I'm saying? That luxury rap type of beats, you know what I'm saying? And on this track, Freddie speeds up his cadence at times and brings it back on beat. And he throughout his raps, he is not afraid to put in like some funny bars on there, some shit that like make your eyebrows turn up. Like, what the fuck is he talking about? Talking about my bitch serving 3 hoes. Like, I don't want to know, Freddie. We already know you serve them too, so chill. But you know what I'm saying, on here he's like, yo, the feds hit my shit, they ain't getting shit, Mar-a-Lago. So I was wondering, he gonna tie it into the title of the song. And we all know how that orange man be moving, you know what I'm saying? Shit stays under warps for him. It stays hidden, you know what I'm saying? Like, we know he's a criminal, but seems as though we'll never actually see the documents, right? But that was the punch there. And he's been saying, yo, like, he's big business and he ain't giving up the business type shit. So this is another great track for me, 3 out of 3. Then we move into Lemon Pepper Steppers, track 3. The pace picks up a bit. And on here, he's in his Lemon Pepper Steppers. He's showing up at the doors, canceling shows because there's dudes with like 50 guns outside. You know what I'm saying? They try to stop his blessing, but they can't. He's still vibing. He got a shorty in the car, topping it off after church. And some Lemon Pepper Steppers. Living in luxury, right? The beats, like I said, the beats are luxurious on here. Lemon Pepper Steppers, I did give this a 2 out of 3. Good song. Overall, I'm gonna see if this grows on me as I listen to this album more. But yeah, now we hop into Ensalada. Ensalada featuring Anderson .Paak. Now this one, y'all, this one off my first listen, I was like, yeah, that was my favorite. It's my favorite. And as I went through the rest of the album, other songs did peak to me, but this one was a very solid song. On here, Freddie's like, yo, I lived a lot of nights in cold sweats, waking up, anxiety, paranoia, from all the violence that I've seen and all the violence that I've dealt. You know what I'm saying? He sees bodies when his eyes are closed. And, these fuck ass niggas only come around when they down, when they need something from him. I really did enjoy the chorus on here. This is when Anderson does his thing. And he's like, yo, help me get away from this godforsaken place. It breaks his heart to see gangsters turn into angels. He did what he had to do. I feel like it was very much like a reflective of like the bad that comes with like living this certain lifestyle. Yeah, you get the riches, but like this is the reality of being a gangster and going through violence. Like it's not always chains and fucking bitches and living life, right? It's shit. You might have some anxiety. You can't trust nobody. You waking up in cold sweats because you having these fucking nightmares and seeing the eyes of those souls that you've taken, if you've done that. So this was a really great track. Like I said, it was like one of my favorites at that time so far. I was like, ooh, okay, I'm fucking with this one. I give it a 3 out of 3. Now I ain't gonna sing. Now we hopping into track 5, Empanadas. On here, Freddie likes to make MJ references, I guess. But he's on here like, yo, bitches be trying to Billie Jean me. They be trying to put a baby on him. He ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't confuse what's going on. He's just here for a good time and that's it. But he ain't having no babies. And if you are pregnant, you're going to have to figure it out. On this track, you remember how he was like, that rap beef shit is going, he's lying because he does a 2-for-1 on here. And he takes shots at Jim Jones and Benny the Butcher right after one another, like back-to-back bars aimed at Jim, then at Benny. He's like, yo, smacked him in Miami. His boys jumped me. He played it safe. Freddie and Jim, back in December 2021, ran into each other at Prime 112, I think that's what they call it. And witnesses say that Jim Jones' crew confronted Gibbs and his crew, and that Gibbs did get punched and that he was knocked down and that the rest jumped on him and his security got fucked up too. I think we definitely saw some of that on social media. Apparently, Freddie saying I slapped the shit out of him and then that happened. After that, he moves on. He's like, hold on, line him up. Benny, you next. Moves on to say bitches in Buffalo get the same thing. So they got the same treatment. They was throwing plates and that Benny limped away on his good foot. And that he claims Benny got documents sealed that, show that he's a teller and that he be trying to pop it. You can't pop it if you telling. I don't know. I can't confirm it. But he pretty much ended that little 2-for-1 with, fuck these loving hip hop ass niggas. He's at the Oscars. Shots fired. You know what I'm saying? And then he reminisced about some hoes that he enjoyed. Typical Freddie shit. Trolling and being spready Freddie. You know what I'm saying? 3 out of 3 empanadas. I ain't gonna lie, he really did fucking go off on it. Now track 6 called Skinny Suge 2. This is another sequel from Alfredo 1. He did Skinny Suge 1. On his first line, he actually borrows a line from Ice-T's song called Colors. It's a pretty fire bar too. He's like, yo, I'm a nightmare walking, psychopath talking. I'm like, ooh wee. You know what I'm saying? This actually, when Ice-T first said it came out in 1988. So Ice-T was dicing them back in 1988. Off the title alone, you should have known what timing he gonna be on some Suge shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, Freddie always sprinkles in some funny bars, right? Sometimes they hit too, right? On here, this bar that I was like, this dude is funny as hell. He's like, Jewish lawyer beat the case. I had to shalom with him. I had to piece it up, be thankful to him. And you know what I'm saying? And then he's like, yo, I know some niggas that would just do you in for the features that you hop on. Come on. It was a fire track. It was a 2 out of 3. It was a good track. It was a good track. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he sprinkles in that humor and he be talking his shit. I really did like how he borrowed that bar from Ice-T and then went off and gave his own delivery. But yeah, 2 out of 3. Now track 7. This is when We get some love from the features again, right? Track 7, we got Feeling with Larry June. Larry, I was actually looking forward to this track because Larry has been doing his thing. Just dropped Ricardo, just dropped this, and just dropped Life is Beautiful early in the year, which was a project I also reviewed and thoroughly enjoyed. So it was no surprise that Freddie invited him, especially after he also worked with the Alchemist, to add to that luxury rap vibes. So it's called Feeling. And on here, I really did like the chorus. Freddie's like, no one nigga keep a course side view with a hoe like you. You know what I'm saying? He gonna keep a course side view with a baddie like whoever he fucking with. I liked it. I think it was like I said, Freddie's not afraid to get flowy and, chop it up. And he's like, a nigga married to a game could never tell a hoe I do. You know what I'm saying? Like, very, very, very flowy with it. And Larry comes in and he slows it down. Same beat, how he's shopping and treating her out of town. And then Freddie comes back and he's like going through his list of hoes that will let him feel it. I'm like, he's like, yeah, Tisha, let me feel it. Nah, let me feel it. I'm like, come on, bro. You kissing and telling? All right, whatever. But it's with this track, it's funny hearing Freddie sing, honestly, and he making that shit sound good. You know what I'm saying? And if you pay attention to the lyrics, it's like, bro, this dude always stays true to his trolling spirit. It don't matter if he's rapping on the song or fucking tweeting, whatever the case is, he gonna be him. This was a 3 out of 3 for me. Now we're starting to get into the middle of the album. Track 8 called I Still Love Her, Her, spelled out. And he raps about his love for like relationships with multiple women. I mean, I feel like multiple times throughout the project, he does talk about just like always having multiple hoes and shit like that. And loving the flashy attire, money. Now, the song title, Common does have a song similar, but it's actually alluding to this Japanese group called Teriyaki Boys. They actually have a song called I Still Love Her featuring Kanye. And because the project, does have some like Japanese aesthetics, I feel like that it makes sense that they wanted to kind of allude to that group as well and have some nods to that. I should mention too, throughout the project, there are some like talk tracks at the end of the songs where it's, people speaking in Japanese and then sometimes Freddie speaking himself to like a woman, it seems. So yeah, definitely like blends in the influence from the cover art down into like, you know, the songs that they borrow the titles from and things like that. Well, specifically with track 8. This song though, while I thought it was like a nice nod to the culture and everything, I feel like it was not as flowy and packing a punch as the other tracks. So I gave it a 1 out of 3, one fire sign out of 3. So now we hop into track 9 called Shangri-La or Shangri-La. If you don't know, they actually Alchemist and Freddie Gibbs actually recorded most of the album in Malibu at a studio called Shangri-La, or it might be LA because since it's over there in California, whatever. Now on this track here, first of all, what is it with y'all rappers and always having a line about studs? What is y'all obsession? On here, he had his own line. He's like, tell me, is you a stud or is you a hoe? And he's pretty much like, fuck it, I love them both. I'm like, yo, Freddie, stop. Like, God damn it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Why you had to have that in there? But whatever. On here, he's like, yo, would they set me up? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. This track, it was a good track. I would say it's a 2 out of 3. Something that I have to see if like with a few more listens, if I fuck with it. Well, he threw me off in the beginning. Cause why you always coming for us? Why y'all niggas always gotta say something? Whatever. I ain't worried about that because I ain't doing that shit. Carry on. Track 10, Gas Station Sushi. Another track that Freddie has something to say about somebody else. You remember earlier I spoke about how he threw some shots at Currency? Well, this is the track that he does it. And, kicks it off first. He's like, yo, fuck them. I'm gonna keep it pushing. These hoes, when I be fucking them, they confuse the lust for love. And, his mama, ever since she seen the ultrasound, she knew he was blessed and that he was meant to be something, you know what I'm saying? Like, when he bumps into these guys, he's fucking them up. He got his gun out, you know what I'm saying? And to the point where he's intimidating so much, he makes them dookie, is what he says, gas station sushi. So that's the bar right there, right? That's, like I said, Freddie always trolling. But then he moves on to this currency. He's like, yo, he could have ran Fetty by himself. If y'all didn't know, they did a collab project called Fetty. And Freddie felt a way about how everything went post collab because he felt as though currency didn't really do much to promote it. He didn't post about it. He didn't make videos about it. They just made it and he didn't really show it much love and push it the way he should have. So he felt the way about it. He addressed it on the song, but he didn't say no crazy fucking bar. He just said, I could have did it by myself. But Spitter ain't tripping. He's just a chill guy. He's a chill guy that gets high and makes music. You know what I'm saying? He says, send him some beats. Maybe he'll respond back. Maybe he won't. I don't even think it's worth the energy. If Freddie really had a problem, pick up the phone, talk to your man and tell him, yo, why you not pushing this shit? And if it's not working, then, note it. I ain't gonna work with you again. But Freddie love to troll and like to talk his shit. So he gonna keep doing that, even though he thinks the rap beef shit is corny, according to him earlier in this project. I digress, because now we're going to hop into track 11, Lavish Habits, Lavish Habits, Lavish Habits. On Lavish Habits, Freddie continues the shots. Freddie has some words to say for academics and Gunna. Now, academics, I don't give a flying fuck about. Roast that nigga. He always coming for women. He's always on some weird shit. He has weird cases. Honestly, he need to move the fuck out so that he can make room for more people within the media space. That's what I gotta say about that. Now, Gunna, I know y'all call him a snitch and blah, 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 but I feel like how many times are we gonna keep calling Gunna a snitch and he's gonna continue to prove, like, 1, Alfred's plea, 2, I still make money, 3, people still listen to me and I'm still successful. So it's like the snitch joke is like, I guess it's getting tiring. Like, how many times we gonna make it? I don't know. On here, like I said, all the smoke for AK. Aim the whole diss at AK. That's fine with me. On here though, he's like, yo, he's busy smoking ops like Patrick Mahomes pops. I thought that was a funny part. Yeah, I know Patrick Mahomes pops, they get in trouble. He smokes like a chimney. Then he spoke about how his boy lost 3 bricks and they made it back just like that. Taxes, interest, and all of that. They had to answer to them niggas. They said, don't worry, Poppy, I got you. I'm gonna make it back real quick. Did just that. You know what I'm saying? And then another bar that I thought was worth mentioning, that I thought was actually a pretty good bar. He's like, yo, he said he liked to shop. I'm gonna bury him in designer fashion. He like protects everything, lavish habits. That was a pretty fire bar. But this track was overall boring for me. For all the shit talking he was doing and dissing, I feel like it was like not that great to me. It was more on the mid side, so I gave it a one fire sign out of 3. 1 out of 3 for me. Now we hop into track 12, Gold Feet. On here we got JID. JID hops on the track now. Alchemist, JID, I feel like, yeah, they need to do a project together themselves. Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? I know he got God Don't Like Ugly coming up, but shit, I really fuck with it. I enjoyed the switch up on the beat here. I feel like it was the beat was preparing for JID to hop on it. Freddie comes on here like how he used to be out west serving and his boys got caught, so he had to lay low. Now he's enjoying hoes in a Ritz hotel, you know what I'm saying? And then he passes off the baton to JID like, what about you? What you doing? And JID goes off like, yo, I'm feeling great. Flows is flowing. You know what I'm saying? Can't many niggas relate. They out here throwing shade, getting antsy over niggas talking about how's their day. Fuck them. I'm doing great. How you doing? Type shit. You know what I'm saying? This was a 3 out of 3. I think they both handled the beat really well. They complimented each other's verses really well. So this is a track that I feel like picked back up the vibe, because from track 8 onward, I was starting to feel like, a little snoozy, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna eventually get them sound effects, and I'm gonna add in a little like fucking snooze. But yeah, this track picked the energy back up, 3 out of 3 for me. Now we hop into track 13. Jean-Claude or Jean-Claude, depending on how you're saying it. And but on here, Freddie's like, yo, the game don't love nobody. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get in, you gotta get out. Shit, the rap game, the drug game, neither of them love anybody. Get your money and go. You know what I'm saying? And on the chorus, it's kind of like she loves me not bars. But it wasn't doing it for me. It wasn't enough. So I gave this a 1 out of 3. Now we hopping into the very last song. It's called 1,000 Mountains. Freddie continues talking his shit, and he's like, yo, the only rapper that's as cold as me is Andre 3000. You know what I'm saying? But he's not doing any more tweeting. He's just going to pull up on guys. He's just going to pull up on Benny the Butcher, I guess. And he's like, yo, he's on fire. He's 1,000 degrees. These niggas can't even touch a candle. They can't even add up to what I amount to. You know what I'm saying? He's like, yo, buy your mama a house and kick her out like DJ Envy. And if you don't know about that situation, look it up. That shit was fucking crazy. DJ Envy, you a sick man for doing that, but whatever. Now, Freddie's also like, yo, I made so much money. I've shown so much talent. I might as well get the fuck up out of here, get a flute and disappear after all he's done in the rap game. This song, it was a solid outro song, but I gave this a 2 out of 3. It's a good song. I'll see if it grows on me, but I do feel like there are other songs throughout this album that punched a heavier hit. Now with that being said, we wrapping it up, right? So this album, I should say, strong start. Very strong start. I enjoyed the production, but overall I felt like the Alchemist played it safe at times, a little bit repetitive, dare I say. I do enjoy the jazzy, sophisticated style like he gave that on Life is Beautiful. I like the luxury rap, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like we didn't get too much of a switch up in elements until Gold Feet. And I feel like if we did have more of that would have elevated it more. And really the ratings of the album, it's honestly, as I started to listen to it, I'm like, okay, it's going good. Starting off at like a A, you know what I'm saying? You start high, and then as I listen and start to take things off if things don't hit. From track 8 to 14, it starts to get a little snoozy. But overall, solid project. This is what I'll say. The best feature, I had a hard time selecting between Gold Feet featuring JID and then Enchilada. But I feel like JID's verse was stronger than Larry's on Feeling. In Anderson .Paak, while he wasn't rapping, I enjoyed the chorus on Enchilada. But if I'm going off of like, if we're just maybe just comparing like rapping in bars, in that case, I'll give it to Gold Feet for the best feature. JID did his thing when he came in on there. And then as far as the Keep It song, it's either Jean-Claude or Jean-Claude. I think it's Jean-Claude. But that's a Keep It song. It was boring for me. Like, it was nothing special. And then best song, Enchilada with Anderson .Paak. That remained my best song throughout the listens, throughout the multiple times I listened to it. And then that brings me to my top 4 for this one. Enchilada with Anderson .Paak, Mar-a-Lago, number 2. Number 3, Feeling featuring Larry June, and then Gold Feet featuring JID. Now, they're interchangeable, and it's really because I really enjoyed like the chorus that came from. I really enjoyed what Freddie did on there on Feeling, and Larry June's verse did compliment him. But I really like JID's verse a lot on Gold Feet. Like I said, interchangeable. Gold Feet could end up being number 3 because it was like the best feature. But I don't know. I really did like how Freddie was like on, you know, nigga got a courtside view with a hole like you. I don't know. I really like that shit. That shit was fire. So that's why I gave it a spot 3. A little more like playful with it, experimental with it. But yeah, Overall, though, as far as ratings, my final ratings for this album, I gave it an 8 out of 10. I gave it a B, right? So now it's like, who served up the better project? So like I did say earlier, Summertime Butch 2, that was a 9 out of 10 for me. I felt like Benny gave the better project because he was more consistent throughout the entire project. I feel like Freddie starts to get a little snoozy for me, and the consistency wasn't there towards the latter part of the album. And there was highs and lows. There was still some tracks that I enjoyed towards the latter part, but just more lows than highs. And Benny just kept a consistent rating throughout all 13 tracks. Now, Freddie does give more versatility and like flows. He even sings. He's not afraid to experiment. And I do really appreciate that from him. But overall, I feel like Benny's bars just pack more of a punch. And that's what really gets me like making that mean face the whole time. So yeah, I'm going to have to give it to Summertime Butch 2 versus Alfredo 2. Yeah, he won that round. And Freddie's not too far off, but Benny just served a better project on the platter. So yeah, y'all got my take on it. I know most of y'all did vote for Alfredo 2, but this is my opinion. I hope you enjoyed it. And like I said, y'all, I really want y'all to spend some time checking out some new artists. So don't be afraid to check out the music submissions, the ones that I mentioned to y'all. And if you know somebody that make music, if you make music yourself, submit something yourself. But thank you all for listening. Make sure you download this episode on your favorite podcast platform. If you got YouTube, like and subscribe. And stay tuned. I got more music submission reviews coming up. I'm going to be sprinkling these into every episode now going forward. And I'm looking forward to just tapping into more music with y'all. We at that pretty much that rolling into the end of year vibe. You know what I'm saying? We passed the halfway mark. So now we're going to see who else got something to serve up on the platter. ICEMAN may be coming out. You know what I'm saying? We got shit to talk about. So y'all, thank you for tuning in. Y'all have a great rest of your day, night, morning, whenever you're listening to this, and stay tuned for more. You're going to see me collaborating more. You're going to see me, with Hip Hop High Society on those roundtables. So something exciting to stay tuned for, to see more of me. And of course, I'll be here bi-weekly with more shit to talk and more projects to review. Y'all have a great one.